First of all, about The Handmaiden, the movie that was projected here at Anonimul. My impression was that it resembled a lot with Diabolique, the movie made by Clouzot, by the French director Clouzot, and a little bit of Rashomon by Akira Kurosawa. Did you like those movies?
물론 좋아하죠. 영화 하는 사람 치고 그것도 영화 안 좋아하는 사람이 있겠습니까? 그런데 클루조 디아블릭은 생각은 못했어요. 근데 하도 어렸을 때 본 영화라서. 근데 칸 영화제에 가니까
Of course, he likes those films. If you're a filmmaker, there probably isn't a filmmaker who doesn't like those films. But Diabolique, he never actually thought about Diabolique when he was setting out to make The Handmaiden, because he saw Diabolique when he was so young. It's been such a long time since he's seen it. But going to Cannes and speaking to people from the French-speaking territories, a lot of them mentioned Diabolique, and to listen to them talking about it, he realized that, of course, for the French, it's such an important film that they might immediately think about this film. But it wasn't something that he had in mind when he was making The Handmaiden. And similarly with Rashomon, people do mention Rashomon because, of course, whenever people see a film, there is a structure where you take one event and you see it through a number of different characters' eyes. But the biggest difference, but he thinks The Handmaiden is quite different from Rashomon, and different because with Rashomon, the whole film is about the fact that truth is subjective. It depends on through whose eyes you're looking at a certain event. Its representation can be different. So in that film, you don't know what the truth is, which is not the case in The Handmaiden, because in The Handmaiden, there's only one truth. We know what it is, and there's never any doubt about that.
The second question, have you seen Oldboy, the American remake done by Spike Lee with Josh Brolin? And if you saw it, did you like it?
많던데 스파이크가 내가 뉴욕에 우연히 가 있을 때 편집하고 있다고 좀 한번 와서.
Well, it's an awkward question, because when he was in New York, when he was visiting New York for work, Spike Lee very kindly invited him to come to the editing suite, because he was editing Oldboy at the time, and come and see the current edit. But he was there as part of his work, and the schedule was so busy that he wasn't able to make time to visit him at the editing suite, because he was getting ready, because he was there as part of work. And when the film was released in Korea, he was again busy working on his next movie, so that he couldn't find the time to go to the cinema to see the film. So until this day, he hasn't seen the film, and that's why he always feels very apologetic towards Spike Lee, and also to Josh Brolin, because he knows Josh, and he should have seen the film, but he hasn't quite yet.
My next question is about Anonimul and Sfântul Gheorghe. Did you enjoy the place? Did you enjoy the festival? What did you like in particular?
우선 극장이 너무 좋던데요.
He really loved the theater.
그 극장에서.
And although he didn't see any films in the cinema theater here, he was able to see the inside when he was doing a Q&A, and to see all the walls made of the wood. It made him feel that as if that he was inside of the Noah's Ark, and he was imagining how this is a post-apocalyptic world, and he's traveling on water with all these audience forever until the end until death, trapped inside this boat and watching these films with the with the audience.
그리고 우리 저 삼각주 간 거는 이 동네가 아닌 거지?
그렇긴 하죠.
근데 뭐 그 얘기도 해도 되나? 삼각주 여행이 정말 좋았어.
But although this is not particularly as fun to George, he loved the whole, Danube Delta experience of being in the water.
델타 보트 타고 석양서부터 시작해서 완전히.
And in particular, the experience of being on a boat and traveling during the sunset, and even after the sun has gone over the horizon, you start to see the moon in the sky and the stars in the sky. Watching the whole process as the fading sunlight was reflecting on the water, to see the sky and the water as the sun was going down, as if in a long take, to see the whole process on the back of the boat as it was traveling. It was an unforgettable experience.
It's a cinematic place.
Yes.
My last question is a journalist question. You may choose to answer it or not. My sources tell me that you understand a little bit of English and you can speak in English, and yet you choose to have a translator. Is it a sort of a filter between you and the press or the audience?
불편할 건 없고요. 어떤 때는 많이 알아들을 때도 있는데.
Well, it's not at all an uncomfortable question at all, but sometimes he understands lots, sometimes little. It really depends on who it is that he is talking to, and depends on the topic. On some topics, he understands a lot. On some topics, only a little. But when it comes to working, especially when it comes to working or in an interview situation like this, understanding little is basically equal to understanding nothing at all, because sometimes this little difference in understanding sometimes can create a massive misunderstanding, so that it makes them think that half-assed understanding is equal to no understanding. So especially when we are in a situation where every word is important, like in an interview situation, he likes to talk through an interpreter to make sure that there's no misunderstanding.
Mr. Chan-wook, thank you for the interview and for the poetry.